In this third video on Intro to Trig, what we're going to do is we're also going to convert from radians to degrees and degrees to radians. And in this one, we're going to focus on converting from a radian measure to a degree measure. So again, this is simply a case where we're going to be given a problem that we have radians. So let's do an example. Let's say we have radians is equal to 5 pi over 8. And we want to convert to degree measure. Well, the formula that I use is radians over 2 pi is equal to degrees over 360. You might be using a slightly different formula. It should be, just make sure you get the same answer. Now you're going to put this in here because this is the radian measure. So you get 5 pi over 8 over 2 pi is equal to degree over 360. Now in one way this is harder than the previous because we have a fraction over a fraction. So what we want to do here is we want to simplify this. There's a lot of different ways to simplify this. Maybe the easiest way is to multiply the numerator by 8 over 1 and the denominator by 8 over 1. And then the 8's cancel. And you get 5 pi over 16 pi degrees over 360, right? And 5 pi over 8. I don't like a denominator in the numerator, so I'll multiply by 8 over 1. I have the denominator by 8 over 1. The 8's cancel, you get 5 pi over 1, which is 5 pi, and 16 pi over 1, which is 16 pi. Notice there's a pi in both of them, so you get 5/16 is equal to degree over 360. Now this is where it becomes easier, and the reason it becomes easier is, in general, we would like degrees in decimal form. So there's never a reason why you would need to simplify a fraction. If you want to, just use your calculator, multiply both sides by 360, and you get 5 divided by 16 times 360, and you get 112.5 degrees. What do we do here? We just multiply this side by 360 and this side by 360. If you want to think about it, 360 over 1, that's fine. And then that's our answer there. And that's all there is to it. There is an exception, and not really an exception, there's a slightly harder problem. Usually radians come in a form like this, like 5 pi over 8. Occasionally they don't. So let's convert 0.7 radians to degrees. So again, use the formula. Radians over 2 pi is equal to degree over 360. Put in 0.7, 0.7 over 2 pi equals degree over 360. What I would do at this point, since I have a pi in the denominator and the numerator, and I'm trying to get degrees, and degrees it doesn't matter if you use calculators or not, what I would do here is I would simply put this in my calculator right here. 0.7 divided by 2 pi. 0.1114 is equal to degree over 360. Even though I wrote this down, I would actually not round it, I'd just leave it in my calculator. What I'm going to do next is, once I put this in my calculator, I'm going to multiply this side by 360 and this side by 360. So I would just keep this in my calculator and times 360, and I get 40.1 roughly degrees. And that's how you convert from radians to degrees and from degrees to radians. Now what I want you to do is I want you to try a couple of examples, and then the next video will have the answers. So let's convert. If it's in radians, convert to degrees, and if it's in degrees, convert to radians. So the first one, let's do 6 pi over 5 radians. And the second one, let's do 120 degrees. And the third one, let's do 3 pi over 4. And the fourth one, let's do 110 degrees. So do those 4 and then check your answers on the next video.